Hello everyone, welcome to What If Naruto Was Abandoned and Become Uchiha Dragon Emperor Part 10. Please go support Sith Trooper 09 for writing that awesome fanfic. Student vs teacher. Naruto, we have to talk. Said Kakashi as he just saw the corpse of Danzo Shimura. Did you kill Danzo? And more Leaf Ninja, among them Might Guy, Sai and Yamato, arrived. Yes I did. I removed a stain from this world. Mere trash like him have lived too long causing problems for all of us. Now what do you want, sensei? Asked Naruto who, despite Kakashi not defending him and the false accusations, still respected him as a sensei. Naruto, come back with us to the leaf. Kakashi said again and Naruto scoffed at his sensei's words. To that village? The village that sealed my mother's soul into the Reaper. To the village that slaughtered my clan because they feared us. To the same village that allowed people like Danzo or Orochimaru to live. The same village where my father, Minato Namikaze abandoned me, shouted Naruto, and the Leaf Ninja were shocked at his words. Izuna is the son of the fourth Hokage? Asked Ino Yamanaka in shock. Oh really? Damn, seems Izuna got all the good genes, while Menma and Mito got none. Remarked Choji, and Shikamaru chuckled a bit at that. This just got troublesome. Lord Force's talent and the Sharingan are a deadly mix. Hate to face reality, but I don't think all of us combined can deal with Izuna, not like we could have ever. Said Shikamaru, knowing long ago that Naruto was way out of his league. Smart as always, Shika. Though that's to be expected from Inara. You don't seem too so surprised by the fact that Minato is my father, sensei. You knew, didn't you? Naruto, he was always angry at himself for not being there for you. You couldn't imagine how he felt. Oh, I know exactly how he felt, sensei, shouted Naruto back in anger. Don't you dare lecture me as if you taught me a goddamn shit. He left me for dead. He cared more about that damned witch who sacrificed my mother just so that the fox could be sealed inside those two fucking disgraces. He cared more for those two talentless, worthless little demons that are my half-siblings. He didn't kill Danzo after he ordered Itachi to kill my clan. He didn't care, and he never did. He didn't care. Naruto's anger shocked the members of Team 10. During their academy days, Naruto was always calm and collected, and they thought he was incapable of anger till the Kiba incident. Kakashi realized that Naruto had gone deep into darkness, but he still held hope that his sensei and Kiyomi's legacy was still there. Naruto, well, your hate is more than justified. I beg you, stop your quest of vengeance. It won't make your life any better or bring back those you've lost. Come back with us, Naruto. You can live happily like you once did. Happy? Everyone in the leaf is happy, huh? They are all smiling. Smiling at Itachi's suffering, my suffering, and the deaths of my clansmen. I won't stop until not one of them can smile again. I'll turn their laughs into cries of pain and wails of misery. That is my promise, sensei. As God King of Magog, Chief Prince of Rosh, Meshach and Tubal, you are the prophesied invader and the one to end the shinobi era. Yes. So even you have heard of the prophecy. I will end the ninja world, and even this continent will fall to my empire. My banner will be raised on all four corners of this world, and I will be their dragon emperor. Said Naruto with a bit of madness in him. Kakashi sighed to himself as he now realized Naruto was too far deep into the darkness to be reasoned with. He unveiled his Sharingan, ready to kill his student and his sensei's true legacy. You leave me no choice, Naruto. I will put an end to this. You speak as if you can take me down at any moment, sensei. You seem to forget that you could barely keep up with me in our previous encounters. That was before, Naruto. I held faith that you could be reasoned with. I just now realize that you are beyond reasoning. That Sharingan of yours. A symbol of the Uchiha's power in the hands of an outsider. I will admit that only you are worthy to wield its mighty power, but let's see how well you can do against a real Uchiha, sensei, shouted Naruto as Kakashi jumped over the bridge and at Naruto. Naruto sidestepped the attack and jumped up, intending to kick Kakashi, but he evaded. Kakashi and Naruto engaged in a taijutsu brawl. Naruto tried an uppercut, but Kakashi blocked, and when Naruto tried a kick, Kakashi dodged. Naruto and Kakashi fought on pure taijutsu for half a minute until Naruto kicked Kakashi in the stomach, sending him flying away. Kakashi took out a kunai just as Naruto attacked with Narada. The two clashed and Kakashi then used his Rikiri to fight against the Narada. The sword absorbed the chakra, but Kakashi managed to kick it away, implanting it in the tree. Naruto punched Kakashi as he jumped to reclaim his sword, and Kakashi followed. Lightning style. Howling Thunder Wolf Jutsu. Kakashi then made a giant wolf of pure lightning to attack Naruto, who got electrocuted a bit till Narada absorbed the jutsu. Fire style. Majestic Demolisher Flame. Naruto then spew out a river of fire, burning the tree, but Kakashi escaped being burned alive. Shouldn't we help? Asked Choji, and Shikamaru shook his head no. No, Choji, but, Shikamaru, Kakashi-sensei could be dead. You saw the perfect Susanoo Izuna used that day, right? Yes, Choji, but Izuna isn't using it. Besides, among all of us, only Kakashi-sensei and Guy-sensei can stand up against Izuna's powers. That is true. Said Yamato. But that doesn't mean we should slack off. Get ready in case Izuna comes at us. Indeed. Came the voice of Might Guy in a very serious tone which was unlike him. This is a fight Kakashi needs to fight alone. Naruto tried to punch Kakashi, but Kakashi managed to block. Naruto jumped up and kicked, but Kakashi yet again dodged. Naruto jumped back as he and Kakashi fought with pure Taijutsu again. Chaos style. Jutsuga Tenshu. Naruto wrapped Narada in the chaos style as he charged at Kakashi, who got ready to strike with his signature Rikiri. The two powerful jutsu clashed with no apparent victor, and Naruto took out his gunbai, intending to club Kakashi. Kakashi was hit hard by the fan in his stomach and he wobbled, then got back up and jumped back. Zero. And Naruto fired the laser, but Kakashi used Earth style. Mud wall to survive the laser beam. In anger, Naruto charged straight at Kakashi, who was satisfied with his plan. Earth style. Mud dragon jutsu. Kakashi said as a serpentine dragon made of mud ran straight at Naruto. Naruto blocked the dragon's attack with his war fan as he was put down below on the destroyed part of the bridge. Naruto gritted his teeth in anger as he destroyed the mud dragon. Fire style. Majestic dragon hellstorm. Kakashi got near the large semicircle to see light coming and he fell back to see a literal lake of fire come up. The fire then took on the shape of multiple dragons and they all attacked Kakashi at once. Roar. The dragons roared as Kakashi tried evading them, but he was burned all over. Much of his clothing was destroyed, but Kakashi was still very much alive and had parts of his mask on. Squelch. Naruto managed to snuck behind Kakashi and stab him right through the heart. You let your guard down, sensei. And then Naruto. Kakashi said weakly as the pain intensified. It seems that not even the great Kakashi Haddock could survive against a real Uchiha. But I am not the real Kakashi. Kakashi said as he grabbed onto Narada's hilt. What? Naruto dumbly said as the Kakashi he stabbed revealed himself to be a lightning shadow clone, and the clone exploded, electrocuting Naruto for a few seconds till Narada absorbed the chakra. Kakashi burst out of the ground seeing his plan work and armed with a Rikiri. Naruto blocked with his fan and he kicked his sensei away. Naruto attacked his sensei again and they continued their fight. Naruto's eternal magicum activated and he shot out blood red lightning at Kakashi, who managed to get electrocuted. Zero Skurus. Then Naruto fired the stronger version of his Zero, and Kakashi dodged the attack in time before was destroyed down to the atoms. Naruto then held a tiger seal to prepare his jutsu. Fire style. Fire dragon flame bullet. And he spew out 5 blazing dragons at Kakashi. Water style. Water dragon bullet. Kakashi countered with 5 water dragons of his own, and the 2 dragons clashed to create a mist. Fujin. Naruto commanded his black winds to make the mist disappear. Amaterasu. And the black flames came at Kakashi, who substituted in time. That was the Amaterasu. So Itachi gave you his own powers, huh, Naruto? It's even stronger than Itachi's own. Thought Kakashi, seeing the log he substituted with reduced to nothing in a second. Water style. Typhoon vortex. And water collected around Kakashi and they came at Naruto. It was stupid on your part to attack me directly with water, sensei. Sujin and Naruto with his Manjikam ability, Sujin, made the waters drop and he channeled chaos style on his sword and ran at Kakashi. Earth style. Mud dragon and a mud dragon came out and swallowed Naruto, who destroyed it instantly. Naruto saw Kakashi with a Rikiri come at him from behind and he used his war fan to block. The Kakashi who attacked Naruto was a clone and it exploded, temporarily blinding Naruto. The real Kakashi then gave Naruto a hard chakra-empowered kick to his stomach, then an uppercut, sending his former student flying. Kakashi jumped up and gave Naruto a hard punch, sending him back down to the bridge and crash. Naruto fell down hard and he coughed up blood. The Leaf Ninja cheered for their comrade as he stood 10 meters away from Naruto. Damn you, Naruto cursed Kakashi as he slowly and painfully got up. You damn dirty piece of leaf trash, Naruto shouted in rage as the dark blue chakra flared to life and the arms of his Susanoo tried to grab Kakashi. Die, Naruto shouted as the Amaterasu started chasing Kakashi. Amaterasu Kagetsuchi. Dragon of the Darkness Flame, and the Amaterasu took the form of a dragon and it chased Kakashi. The Leaf Ninja, at least those from Danzo's foundation, then attacked Naruto, but his Susanoo ribsage protected him. Useless brainwashed drones. Join your master in Tartarus. And Naruto finished them all with a few shots of his bala. Naruto then used Kagetsuchi to control the dragon and the dragon came back, targeting the Leaf Ninja. Might Guy, Yamato, Sai and Team 10 managed to avoid being burned to death, but the other 14 weren't. Naruto then commanded his dragon to attack Kakashi and the dragon turned back. I have no choice. The flame dragon is too powerful to be dealt with. Thought Kakashi as he activated his Manja command Kamui, sucked the dragon into the Kamui dimension. Meanwhile, Kamui dimension. BS. Said Wanabito Uchiha, enjoying the peaceful quietness of his Kamui dimension. With this, the Eye of the Moon plan will be going smoothly, and this world will be replaced by one of true happiness. Roar. Obito looked to see a dragon made of the Amaterasu flames enter the Kamui dimension and directly at him. Obito screamed in fear as he quickly teleported himself back to the real world, lest he be burned to death. Kakashi panted as the Kamui took a big toll on him since he was a non-Uchiha. Then, Kakashi heard a monstrous roar and saw Naruto come down and straight at him with the incomplete humanoid Susanoo. The Susanoo punched, but Kakashi managed to barely escape. The Susanoo then threw a barrage of Amaterasu endless Yusaka Magatama beads, and Kakashi used Kamui to warp them away. Noticing the change of pattern in Kakashi's Sharingan, Naruto chuckled a bit. I didn't think one who had a transplant could awaken the Manjikam, though yours must take quite the toll on your reserve sensei, as you don't have a Uchiha chakra. The Leaf Ninja came besides Kakashi, and both Karen and Raizetsu came to Naruto's side. Though the two girls knew that they were greatly outclassed, they would give their lives to protect their master. Naruto then advanced his Susanoo to the armored stage and looked at the Leaf Ninja. Do you see this? It is the armored Susanoo. Though weaker than the perfect Susanoo by far, it is more than enough to take most of you out. What do we do, Kakashi-sensei? Asked Ino, who was very much afraid, and Kakashi looked as though he didn't know what to do. Maybe I can use the 3 food pills of my clan to distract him, suggested Choji, but Shikamaru shot the idea down as he knew it wouldn't be enough. I might have to open 7 out of the 8 gates. Might Guy said, but Kakashi would not allow that to happen. What's up everybody? Came a loud voice, and everyone looked up to see Menma Yuzuka's, along with 20 of Danzo's Foundation Anbu. Menma landed near the Leaf Ninja and looked straight at Naruto, who immediately noticed the eyes Menma had. Menma had transplanted Byakugan eyes. How did you get those Byakugan eyes? Naruto asked and Menma laughed. Simple. They are Hinata-chan's eyes, loser. After her death, Mom decided to take them out of Hinata-chan so that I could use it. And guess what, loser? I'm going to defeat you with these new bad babies in me. You are as arrogant and stupid as you always were. You could never reach my level back then, you couldn't defeat me in the previous fights, despite your control over the 9 tails, and you still will not. You were a weakling back then, you are a weakling now, and you will die a weakling, immortalized as the idiot son of the 4th Hokage who thought you were a king. Menma gritted his teeth in anger at Naruto's words, and he summoned over 200 clones, each with a Rasengan in their hands. Kill him, he ordered as his clones charged. The other clones shouted in unison and ran straight at Naruto. Let's go for Lord Danzo, one Foundation Anbu shouted, and the other Foundation Nin except Sai, 2 charged at Naruto. I'll destroy them all in one shot. Rinnegan Diva Path. Black Coffin. And Naruto raised his hand to reveal a black orb. The black orb left his hand to create a huge box that soon enveloped the clones and Foundation Ninja. After a second, the box disappeared and there was no one there. The other Leaf Ninja were shocked at the jutsu and what it did, and then they noticed the Rinnegan on Naruto. He has the Rinnegan? Asked Ino as her legs lost all strength and she fell down. This just got from bad to worse. Far, far worse. Said Shikamaru as he still remembered the devastation pain caused on the village with the power of the Rinnegan. And now, that power was in the hands of someone far worse than pain. Do you have the Rinnegan? Menma weakly said as he was still very much afraid of the power of the Dojutsu. You should really keep your guard up. Naruto said as he stepped out of his Susanoo and appeared them. In just a split second, he cut down Ino and she fell to the water. Choji in anger used his enlarged fist to attack, but Naruto blocked it and cut Choji as well. Shikamaru tried his shadow possession jutsu, but he got kicked in the face by Naruto. Sai drew beasts on his scrolls which came to life and to attack Naruto, but Naruto fired his bala, destroying them. Yamato tried to catch Naruto with his wood style, but Naruto burned the wood and electrocuted Yamato. Kakashi tried to engage Naruto, but he stepped back to the girl. Naruto was trying to prepare a Grand Ray Zero as Obito swirled beside him. Madara. Kakashi said as he prepared the Kamui, but Obito held out his hand. You don't have to bother, Kakashi Haddock. We both know that it won't work on me. Said Obito, then he faced his younger cousin. Izuna, let's retreat for now. You have to prepare your forces for the war. Or? Kakashi asked as Obito chuckled. Yes. The 4th Great Ninja War. The ninja world against the Akatsuki and the Blackfire Empire. Prepare yourselves well, Haddock. Because in a month's time, a tide of blood from all the ninja of the hidden villages will give birth to the new world. And Obito swirled, taking his cousin and the girls with him. No way, Kakashi shouted, but he was too slow to stop them. But that was not important. Now, he had to go back to the Leaf to inform them of Danzo's death and the upcoming war. The war told in the prophecies that would end the shinobi era and a new world order established. Kakashi had lived through one war, now he had to make sure he survived this one as well. Of swords and snakes, the hidden Leaf village was starting to rebuild after Pain's assault. A few days back, the leader of the infamous Akatsuki, Pain, had attacked with his 6 paths of pain, along with Conan, and shouted to the ninja world that the famed Rinnegan eyes were indeed real, and he demonstrated its godlike power by destroying the Leaf Village with a single attack. They only survived because Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, had sacrificed his life to seal Pain's soul in the Reaper. After that, Danzo came back with over 500 new Anbu of his foundation and took control of the village. The clan heads were too weak, Tsunade in a coma, Kushina too was in need of life support after her fight with Conan, and Menma was still in the hospital. No one resisted the Foundation's takeover of the Leaf. Danzo then restarted his Foundation program and ordered every ninja and children with chakra to undergo the Foundation's training, but he had to put that on hold as the 5 Cage Summit was called by him and the Reikage. Now, Kakashi Haddock was put in charge by the Fire Daimyo until Tsunade could be up and running. Under Kakashi, the Leaf only rebuilt key buildings and were building forts on strategic locations to prepare for the coming war. It was a shocker for the Leaf citizens to hear of the existence of other continents with more advanced technology. And they grew fearful after they learned that Naruto was the emperor and he was coming back to the elemental nations with an army far larger than they think, and he was going to conquer them. The new civilian council members suggested trying to bribe Naruto with money or marriage, but Kakashi told them it was useless and ordered everyone, civilian and shinobi, poor and rich, peace inter-clan, to help rebuild and for the war effort. Currently, Kakashi looked over the reports to see that most of Danzo's drones were killed and the materials needed for the rebuilding and construction were sabotaged. Workers were killed and many doctors and nurses were slaughtered. He eyed the evidence carefully along with Shikaku Nara to find who it was. "You got any idea?" Kakashi asked Shikaku, who sighed. "No. Whatever it is, I bet you 5 million ryo that it is connected to the Uchiha. Perhaps a spy or an agent of sorts, could be. These weapons are the same as the Golden Eagles, who have now been confirmed to have originated from the Western lands. All sources point to an inside source, but who among us is the real question that needs to be answered. He won a war by himself, Kakashi. I doubt it'll be easy, yeah. But for now, we just have to think harder than before." What a drag. Above the Leaf, hiding in the clouds was a Z-class fortress bomber. It was the personal airship of Naruto, which was named the Valkyrie. Aboard the bridge of the aircraft was Naruto, his Imperial Guard and Yakumo Kurama, who used her power to mask the airship. "All weapons are ready for firing, my lord," said Guren as she kneeled down before Naruto. "Good. Keep the weapons active in case we might have to fight." "My lord, I thought you brought your airship to destroy the village." "No, Guren. I brought it here because I need to pick up some valuable things and 2 people." "You have spies in the village, my lord." "Yes, I did. Guren, meet my spies, Yugao Yuzuki and Anko Mitarashi," Naruto said as the holoscreen came down to show the faces of the purple-haired servants of Naruto. "Tell me, Yugao, Anko, did you like my present I gave you?" "Yes, master. It served your purpose greatly," replied Yugao, much to Naruto's happiness. "Good. Did you do as ordered?" "Yes, my lord. Most of Danzo's drones and the village's workers have been killed." "That can wait, Yugao. Your new orders, Yugao, Anko, are to destroy the Foundation's base deep within the village. I want every single experiment and harvested Sharingan destroyed, but save the files and documents. That will destroy whatever trust the villages have each other. Oh, and bring me Kushina Uzumaki. It's time I repay her for everything she did against me." "Yes, Lord Izuna," replied both, and the holoscreen turned off. "If you don't mind me asking, my lord, what was the present you gave them?" asked Guren as she was curious to know what could impress even the top Anbu of the Leaf. "Let's just say, something that I thought of after seeing the weapons and tech of Magog and of Sasori's own puppets. I simply combined the two to make my own human puppet," replied Naruto, and Guren whistled impressed. "Who was the victim then, my lord?" "An enemy soldier?" asked Guren, and Naruto simply smirked. It was noon in the Leaf Village, and Kakashi decided to investigate the Foundation HQ buried deep underground. Kakashi was here years ago when Danzo tried to assassinate his sensei and the 3rd Hokage. It was also here that the former Foundation operative Tenzo had been saved and reassigned to the Anbu Black Ops. Kakashi decided to check the place out since he wanted to know what dirty secrets Danzo had been up to in the past years. As Kakashi walked deeper into the Foundation HQ, he saw footprints in the ground. Kakashi examined them and concluded they were fresh. Someone was here just moments before him. He didn't know whether the person was friend or foe, and he decided to pick up the pace. Kakashi stood outside Danzo's office. He tried to open the door, but then, boom, the door exploded and Kakashi was sent back. The other doors exploded all around and Kakashi managed to escape via substitution. Kakashi got out of the Foundation HQ but burnt a bit, and Kakashi caught a glimpse of someone running with papers. Kakashi could barely see the person, but from the trench coat and the purple hair, he recognized who it was. "Anko?" thought Kakashi in alarm. "Are you Naruto's spy?" Anbu led by Yamato then arrived to the scene. Kakashi-senpai, are you okay? What happened? I'm fine, Tenzo. Someone blew up the Foundation's base before I could check for anything. Replied Kakashi as Yamato looked at the burned base. We can discuss that later, senpai. First let's get you to a hospital. And Yamato put Kakashi's arm over his shoulder and body flickered to the hospital. Anko, why would you betray the leaf? Kakashi got treated of his wounds by the doctors. He wasn't badly injured, only had minor burns caused by the fire. Are you okay, senpai? Yamato asked and Kakashi nodded. Yeah. I'll be fine, Tenzo. Everyone except Yuga leave. I have something important to discuss with her. Said Kakashi and everyone except Yuga left the room. What is it, Kakashi-senpai? Yuga, did you know that your friend, Anko Mitarashi, is a spy? Yuga then faked shock to hide her cover. What? Kakashi-senpai, what are you talking about? Anko couldn't possibly be a traitor, but she is. I saw her blow up the Foundation HQ and running away with papers. No and no. Whispered Yuga as she fell to her knees, hoping Kakashi bought her act. I understand that she is your friend, but you must face reality, Yuga. She is a traitor and must be killed now. You don't get it, Kakashi. I don't get what? She isn't the only one. I am too, and Yuga attacked Kakashi with her katana. Kakashi was shocked by the revelation, but snapped out of it and blocked Yuga's attack with a kunai. What? You too? Why? Lord Izuna opened my eyes and showed me the reality of this world. I've never felt at peace till I served him. Yuga replied as she continued the attack. The Kodamatsukami. Of course. Only a genjutsu like that could work. But the Nirvana seal should have made it useless unless of course Naruto used it before the seal was put on Yuga. Thought Kakashi as he managed to kick Yuga away. Yuga knew Kakashi was out of her league, so she took this opportunity to break the door and go into the lower parts of the hospital to complete her mission. Her time in the leaf was up and she needed to get Kushina for her master. Kakashi left the room to go in pursuit of Yuga. He didn't know what she was planning to do, but he knew that since she was following Naruto's orders, it couldn't be good. Yamato appeared before Kakashi as the two ran deeper into the hospital's lower areas. Kakashi-senpai, what is it? Yuga and Anko are the spies that have been killing our ninja. Answered Kakashi much to Yamato's shock. Are you sure, senpai? Yuga of all people too. She attacked me in the room, Tenzo. Now hurry. Whatever she is planning to do, it won't be good. Kakashi and Yamato got into the hospital's lowest floor, about 7 floors beneath the ground, and it was restricted for the high officials of the village. Where are you, Yuga? Right here. Kakashi and Yamato looked back to see Anko, who then puked out Yuga. Anko pulled out a needle she put on Yuga, and she woke up from the genjutsu-induced sleep. Yuga, snap out of it, you're under Naruto's mind control, this isn't you. Anko, go fulfill our mission. I'll take care of them. Yuga ordered and Anko ran full speed to her mission objective, which was the room in which Kushina Uzumaki was resting. Yamato tried to catch Anko, but was stopped when Red Chakra came and blocked the entrance. The two looked to see Yuga holding the sword that Kushina used, the Benihim. That's Kushina's sword. Bellowed Kakashi seeing Yuga wield the Benihim. Considering her current condition, I don't think she'll mind. Besides, it's not just me you have to worry about. Yuga then pulled out a scroll and she unsealed the item and the leaf nin gasped in shock. It was a metallic human puppet of Kurenai Yuhi. Like it. Lord Izuna turned Kurenai-chan into a puppet after her death. She's armed with all sorts of weaponry, specifically made to kill ninja. Yuga said as she walked over to the puppet Kurenai. The Kurenai puppet still retained her look, the black hair, crimson eyes and fair skin, but bits of metal were found on her body and outlines indicating the various parts. The puppet was clothed with a black bikini and wore the same shinobi sandals. You would use your own friends like this? How would feel if Naruto turned you into one? Asked Kakashi in anger and Yuga just laughed. Of course I would. Sasori of the Red Sands didn't have any problem using human puppets, and I would gladly become Lord Izuna's puppets if it mean I can serve him to the best of my abilities. Yuga replied as she put a little tiara on her head and the Kurenai puppet came to life. Now Kurenai, time to show Lord Izuna your worth. Kill them all. The Kurenai puppet then attacked Kakashi. Kurenai's hands were made from the toughest steel and she easily broke the kunai which Kakashi used. Yamato tried to bind the puppet, but Kurenai destroyed the wooden arms with a rocket missile launcher on her left arm. Damn it. She's just like that one Path of Pain that had 6 arms and 3 faces. Thought Kakashi as he found similarity between the Asura Path and the Kurenai puppet. Kurenai then transformed her right arm to become a machine gun and she shot a barrage of bullets at Kakashi. Kakashi managed to save himself via Earth style mud wall, but Kurenai broke the wall just as easily and she attacked Kakashi. Kurenai then released fire from her palms and Kakashi defended with fire style. Great fireball jutsu. Yamato tried to bind Yuga, but she destroyed the wood with Benihim. Yuga then used her tiara to command Kurenai to open the storage seals. Kurenai's eyes glowed as she jumped back to her controller and her stomach opened as missiles came flying out the seals. Damn it. Chidori Senbon Kakashi made a Chidori and used it to fire multiple lightning Senbon to destroy the missiles. Nice timing Kakashi, but that's not all my new toy can do. Yuga remarked as Kurenai's eyes glowed. Kurenai then used a strong Jinjutsu to attack the Leaf Nin, and even Kakashi found it difficult to break out of it despite his Sharingan. When he did, he avoided the fire blast coming out of Kurenai's palms and grabbed Yamato as they escaped. Anko came out of the room and rejoined Yugao. "Did you get her?" asked Yugao, to which Anko nodded. "Surrender you too. I'm not going to hold back any longer," Kakashi said as he came out with his Manjikam activated. "No need Kakashi. Anko and I completed our mission already," Yuga replied as she used her tiara to command Kurenai to destroy the ceiling. Anko then took the tiara and swallowed Yugao, sealing her inside the ceiling dimension located in her stomach and grabbed onto Kurenai. The puppet then flew out and Kakashi saw the Valkyrie bomber above the Leaf Village and it left the village sky. "Damn it. We failed," muttered Kakashi in defeat at seeing the two spies getting away. Aboard the Valkyrie, Naruto sat on his chair as he faced the bowing forms of Yugao Yuzuki and Anko Mitarashi, and behind him was Kushina Uzumaki, bound in chains and cuffs and looking terrified. "You served me well as you did these past 3 years, my faithful servants, Yugao and Anko. You shall be rewarded greatly." "My lord, serving you is reward enough," replied Yugao and Naruto chuckled. "Very pleased to hear. These documents will destroy whatever littler trust the other villages and nations will have on the Leaf. And now to deal with you. No. Spare me. Please. I'll do anything. You can use my clan's secrets. You can use me as breeding stock. Just please, don't kill me." Kushina begged and Naruto kicked her in the face. "No. I've been waiting years to repay you back for the hell I lived through. Consider this revenge. On my part, the clan and on my mother." And Naruto gave a psychopathic laugh that echoed all throughout the ship and even the sky. "No. No. No." Dog's invasion, Constantia, Magog. Naruto was back in the industrial capital city of Constantia. He had actually missed the city despite the smoke produced from the factories. It was 2 weeks since he got his 2 servants out of the Leaf and he was currently in the dungeons of his castle, torturing one Kushina Uzumaki. "Please, make it stop," begged Kushina as she was chained, her feet in a bucket of water and was electrocuted by Naruto. "No. I don't think I will," Naruto replied as he turned on the machine again and enjoyed her screams of agony. "You have 10 nails. Let's see how you look with one less than 10, huh?" Naruto grinned like a psychopath and he pulled one of Kushina's nails out with a tool. Kushina screamed loudly as she started crying. Consider this the very beginning of 17 years worth of hate and vengeance. And Naruto continued with the brutal torture. He was interrupted when a soldier came into the room. "Lord Emperor, the Queen requests your presence in the Grand Square for the celebration." "Oh. I actually forgot about the festival. Tell my lovely Mirror Flower I'll be there." "You got lucky, bitch." Naruto spat on Kushina's face as he grabbed his cape and walked out the room, locking it with the best security seals he knew. Naruto walked past the saluting soldiers and stood beside his wife and relatives. "Was I late, my Mirror Flower?" "No. Just in time," Shizuka replied as she kissed her husband and watched the celebration. The day was September 14th, otherwise known as Unification Day. On that day, 3 years ago, Naruto had united the continent under one banner and the people were celebrating the anniversary of the unification and for the eventual conquest of the elemental nations. Below where the Blackfire family stood were the people and the army, ready to march through the city to show off their might, manpower and technology and make their way to the warships. Standing besides Naruto and Shizuka were his Blackfire relatives. His aunt Rayla sat as she was tired from the long stairs and besides her was her youngest daughter Vicky. Demon stood near his mother, dressed for the occasion, and Sarah too was wearing the Blackfire uniform rather than her lab coat for once. The General-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Helmuth von Moltke, walked to the mic and addressed the people. "People of the mighty United Empire, we gather here today to celebrate the anniversary of the end of centuries of bloodshed and the unification of the continent under the Blackfire royal family. Today, on 14th of September, we celebrate the victorious return of our sons and daughters who rode to battle wearing our glorious coat of arms. The victory of Magog over the other nations, over 356 countries, is unparalleled in history. Here by the walls of the Grand Castle, we salute our brave sons and daughters. Those who liberated Groshnaz and Coriopolis. Our brave children who fought from the cold northern mountains and harsh southern deserts. From the Emerald Sea to the Southern Ocean. Those that fought on the streets, on the cities and fortresses of Khitan, Karathia, Cathar, Ashnav, Jebus, Amor and Masov. And those who raised the victory flag on Kaysar, the capital city of Elam. The home of the foolish King Kedorlaomer who thought he could win against us. We won today because we're led by the unrivaled and godlike power and strategic brilliance of our emperor, Constantine Blackfire I. At that, 10 artillery cannons fired their shells, and the trumpets were sounded followed by music from other instruments. This was the anthem of Magog, now the Empire, called March of the Legions of Magog. From the jade, green western seas to the red waters of the east, the great might of the legions of Magog, from harsh, red sands in the south to the cruel northern cold, all peoples united under one banner, onwards to peace and freedom, from great war and strife, the glory of our great land Magog. So draw up our arms, let our guns never tire, so that we may still have our red nation's scarlet banner. Oh, great ancient wings, that united the continents, united all under the rule of the dragon, for all have sacrificed, for the great dream built by iron and blood, with free open voice, and with united labor. We have united the great continents. So come now comrades, for when comes the darkest hour, we can fight for our great home, the lands of Magog. March forth, legions of Magog, the people's power. March forth, legions of Magog, the might of the Blackfires. Everyone sang the anthem. Soldiers and civilians, old and young, rich and poor, Magogite or non-Magogite. Everyone sang the anthem with pride and joy, and the soldiers of the empire marched. Soldiers from all departments of the Imperial Armed Forces marched here. Regular soldiers, motorcycle soldiers, artillerymen, tankmen, naval cannon workers and many more marched here this day. The ground shook with the sounds of the behemoths and noise from the tank engines heard. The sky was filled with the sounds of jet planes as they flew above the city of Constantia. Over 60 million soldiers of his empire marched that day, taking over 5 hours to complete the march. After the divisions had their turns, they entered the warships docked at the coast of Constantia to await their emperor's commands on the future invasion of the elemental nations. House. The voice of Demon Blackfire called out to Naruto. The warships are fully loaded with the troops and are ready for deployment. Good, Demon. With this, the elemental nations will soon fall. What is the status of the remaining divisions here on Aridman Enoch and in Rosh, Meshach and Tubal? Active and reserve. Well, we have 30 million more soldiers currently active here on Aridman Enoch, with 45 million in the reserve army. We have a total of 60 million from Rosh, Meshach and Tubal, ready for deployment in a month's time, but about 7 million are ready for use now. I'll sail with the soldiers ready in this moment. Besides, 67 million soldiers is more than enough for the mere 80,000 of the allied shinobi forces. Replied Naruto as he was going to walk down the stairs till he remembered something. Oh. I almost forgot. Bring my new toy to my personal flagship, the Vengeance Star. I have a special place in mind for her. The armada of the Royal Navy sailed eastward for the elemental nations. In front of the fleet was a ship of titanic proportions. The personal flagship of Naruto called the Vengeance Star. The ship was over 750 meters long, 200 meters wide and 400 meters high. It was jet black in color with 2 white lines across the ship. The armament of the ship consisted of 4 large turrets on the front and back, with 4 on the sides each. It was also armed with multiple rocket launcher platforms and anti-aircraft cannons. The ship had a crane in case cargo had to be put in or out, and on the ship's front was Kushina Uzumaki. She was chained to the front of the ship via Naruto's orders. She wore almost no clothing and had to endure the cold waters of the sea as the Vengeance Star sailed ever closer to the elemental nations. On the bridge, Naruto sat with his wife, enjoying the evening with tea and food. With them were his many concubines, dancing to their enjoyment and serving food. Say, Naruto-kun, what are we going to name our child once he or she is born? Shizuka asked and the question caught Naruto off guard. He hadn't thought about that yet. I don't know to be honest, my mirror flower. I think if it is a male perhaps Shisui would be a good name, won't you say? From your deceased older brother that does sound good. If it is a girl, I want her to be named Kiyomi. After my mother? Naruto replied in a saddened tone. What's wrong? Don't you like it? No. No. It's perfect, it's just I wish I got to know her. Don't be sad, Naruto-kun. She's probably looking down at us from heaven, proud of the man you are. Maybe, she is. Naruto whispered as he drank his tea, finishing his 3rd cup. Come my mirror flower, let's go back to bed and have our fun. Oh Naruto-kun, you always spoil me too much. Anything for my Kyoka Sujetsu, western coast of Earth Country. The Imperial Armada was 10 kilometers away from Earth Country. It was September 23rd, and the Armada was 3 days late due to having to wait for the other ship sailing from Rosh, Meshach and Tubal. Currently there were over 120 warships of the Empire situated 10 miles from the coast. 5 Leviathan dreadnoughts, among them the Vengeance Star, over 20 cruisers, 20 battleships, 30 destroyers, 30 carriers with the remaining being frigates. Order all ships to open fire on the stone shinobi at the shore. Deploy the planes as well. I want all their pathetic defenses destroyed. Naruto ordered on the comm links, and in 12 seconds, the sirens rang loudly as the carriers prepared to launch the aircraft. The warships, armed with the most powerful cannons, aimed their guns at the hidden stone defenses and boom, 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 the ships delivered their payload on the shore. The stone ninja there had no idea what hit them. Landing craft from the warships were dropped and the Imperial soldiers were heading straight for the shore. Once there, the stone ninja used all the jutsu they knew to stop the incoming invaders. A mud dragon managed to destroy a lander, killing 30 Imperial soldiers. In return, the jets flew and dropped their payload. The second wave fired at the stone nin, killing much of them. The second wave arrived. Over 450,000 men ran up the hill as the remaining stone ninja ran for a suicide charge. After 7 minutes of intense fighting, the Imperial army won by their superior numbers and technology. 150 Imperial troops lost and about 500 on the stone side. At dusk, the army made their camps. The tanks, transporters and behemoths came out of the large warships and in his ship, Naruto revised the plans for the invasion. 270,000 can head to the northern part of the country to secure our supply lines with spring. I will personally lead 1,000,000 soldiers into the hidden stone. It's time that Fensita retires permanently. Naruto said as the generals and captains of his army left to do as instructed. The invasion of Gog from Magog had begun. Battle of Stone. It was night in the village hidden in the stone. But despite it being nighttime, the people of the stone, shinobi and civilian, weren't sleeping. Word reached the inhabitants of the village that Naruto arrived with his fleet and army, numbering in the tens of millions, at the western coast of Earth Country. Inoki, who wasn't in the village currently, had ordered his people to build up their defenses and to wait as long as possible. That was easier said than done, especially considering the state of the hidden stone and the large army under Naruto. The shinobi had fortified the key areas of the village, ready to face the vast invading army, and even the civilians, from the oldest to the youngest child, were armed with everything the village had to offer, even with just bare sticks. This proved to Inoki that his people were braver than the Leafs by far, and he found pride in that. The sounds of the invading western army was heard in the distance, growing louder with each minute the people of stone waited. The sounds of advanced machines, of metallic beasts that was the stuff of anxiety and nightmares, grew ever closer as they waited. Naruto was sitting on his large stone throne which was atop a different dragon. The Great Fire Drake. He summoned the Fire Drake 3 years back during his fight against the one-tailed Tanuki. Now, he was observing the stone village which was soon going to be attacked by him and his army. So that is the hidden stone. It's a lot bigger than I expected. It seems to be built inside a mountain range. Naruto remarked upon seeing the stone village's structure. Indeed, love. It reminds me of the ziggurats back in Arid Man Enoch. His wife, Shizuka, replied upon seeing the similarities in structure. It does resemble a ziggurat to some extent. Shall I sound the attack, my mirror flower? I think fireworks are in order. Excellent. Demon, let's begin the assault with a little gift from our side. You got a cows. Demon replied from the comms as he prepared the gift they had in store. Inside the hidden stone, the people were surprised to find the invaders throwing some sort of round objects inside the walls. It wasn't until they checked it to learn that it was actually the heads of stone ninja. These are our brothers, one of the stone ninjas shouted as the others grew afraid bit by bit. Then, the roars of some demonic creature was heard and they grew even more afraid. Large metallic shells were shot into the village, but they did not explode. Instead, they were opened to reveal horrific hybrid monsters. What are those things? Monsters from the west. The creatures Naruto had thrown into the village were called the Chimera. Native to Cytherea, the Chimera had the face and body of lion with 6-foot-long horns and the head of a goat protruding from the back with a snake as its tail. The Chimera also had goat skin on its back with monstrous long claws and they were armored all over. The stone ninja and civilians tried attacking the Chimera but found it near impossible due to tough armor and the fact that the Chimera was able to breathe fire. The Chimera were slaughtering all the stone ninja and civilians who tried attacking them. The stone ninja tried their earth jutsu which saw some success and they managed to kill 3 out of the 15 Chimera. Loud banging was heard on the village gates and a few dozen made their way near the gate. Stand your ground, a stone jonin shouted to his comrades. We are ninja of the hidden stone, our will is stronger than iron and no matter what comes through that gate, we will stand our ground and fight till the end. The doors were opened and in came massive 24 feet tall trolls. The trolls were real people that lived in the southern desert, hiding from the constant wars which led to the belief that they were just fantasies. They were discovered about a month back and Naruto offered them peace in his empire in exchange for them joining his army, which they accepted. The trolls were armored in addition to their tough skin and machine gun platforms and rocket launchers were placed atop them and they walked straight into the village. The behemoth heavies stood near the walls of the village and they released the ramps, unleashing the hordes of soldiers as they ran across the walls. The soldiers stormed the village from both the walls and gate and the jet planes dropped the bombs and shot at the defense towers. Helicopters flew down as they dropped the soldiers, Chimera and trolls in different parts of the village. Dragons too flew above the village sky, joining the jets and bombers in burning the village. Outside were a horde of white Zetsus who joined the battle, led by Joris Abulo under Obito's orders. Never thought I'd fight alongside Magagites. Joris remarked at the sudden twist in fate as he ran with the white Zetsu in the destruction of stone. In a secret cave, the Akatsuki were extracting the last of the 8 tails, feeding the chakra to the demonic statue of the outer path. Naruto watched silently as the process was nearly completed. After a minute, Killer Bee's lifeless body fell to the ground in a loud thud and he walked to speak with his older cousin. "Ah, Naruto. How good to see you again. Tell me, how was the capture of the hidden stone?" Obito asked, wanting to know the situation of the war effort. "It went easier than I expected, Obito Nai-san. Tell me, how is the extraction of the tailed beasts on your part?" "It's going smoothly, but with Akatsuki being reduced to just 5 members, the extraction process is taking slower. Before with all members, it took 3 days, but with just 5, twice the time. Perhaps I can send some of my best men to aid on your part." "Well, the offer is generous, I think I'll decline. With stone gone, only 3 villages are left standing so it won't be needed. Besides, the war is in our favor my dear cousin. With my army of 100,000 white Zetsu and your army of over 60 million here, the allied shinobi forces stands no chance. Tell me, did you like the present I gave you?" "Indeed they don't and yes I did." "What did you do with Itachi's eyes Naruto? They still certainly are usable." Obito asked, wanting to know what his cousin did to Itachi's eyes. "I already have Itachi's powers, but yes, the eyes still are powerful. I gave both to Demon as he is the only one worthy to have them." Naruto replied to his cousin as he heard the sound of a terribly injured Mito Uzuka's. "Wait Izuna. Please help me." Mito begged Naruto and he laughed at her. "Me? Help you? I didn't expect you of all people to be a comedian, Mito. You're actually good at this." "No, please Izuna. Help me. I'll give you anything you want. Anything." "No. Obito Nai, I'll leave for now. More villages to conquer and steps to be completed." "Of course." Obito replied as Naruto went poof to reveal he was a shadow clone. "Now then, you little ugly girl. Let's get that fox and you extracted shall we?" "No. No please no no." Dawn came by and the village hidden in the stone was ablaze in smoke and fire. The dust was covered with the blood of the hidden stone's inhabitants. Ashes were scattered in the air, mixing with it, and the smell of burnt corpses were common now. The stone had a population of 120k people, with 30k being shinobi, but most of them were outside the village. The hidden stone suffered 25k deaths, with the survivors sent to work in the gulags made in Spring Country. The Imperial Army suffered only a few hundred deaths, which surprised many of the army commanders, since they expected the death toll to reach at least 1,000. Now, Naruto was walking down the hall of the Tsuchikage Tower which was made Army HQ after receiving word that he had a defector from the allied shinobi forces. The defector as it turned out was named Ino Yamanaka and she requested Naruto's audience. "Ino. I heard you defected from the Shinobi Alliance. I didn't believe it at first, but seeing you here in person I guess it was true. Tell me, why?" "Because I'm sick and tired of following that bastard Menma's orders. He tried to force me to marry him and when I refused, he threatened to ship me off to the cloud." "That does sound terrible. But, while I can offer you asylum here, what do you have to offer me in return? And don't think of using yourself as leverage, Ino. I'm quite satisfied with the women in my harem." "I wasn't even planning on that," Ino nearly shouted with an embarrassed face. "Anyways, I can tell you the locations of bases and supply lines that the allied shinobi forces have made. Special ones that not even the white Zetsu can sneak into. I can even give you the names of spies within your ranks." "Interesting. Tell you what, give me those and I'll grant you protection." "Thank you Izuna. Let's talk outside to see where they are." Naruto then ordered his soldiers to bring Ino up to the tower for her to reveal what she offered. They arrived at the tower, walking out to the roof and once there, rifles were pointed on Ino in case she tried anything. "Now then Ino, tell me the names of the spies and of the enemy supply lines." Ino pressed chakra onto her ring, alerting her comrades, and when she did not answer, Naruto got angry. "Answer me now, Ino. Where are the enemies hidden within my sight?" Ino then pointed straight there. "There. The enemy is there." "What are you?" Crash. A gigantic hand tried to crush Naruto, but he flash stepped away in time. Out of the hole came Choji Akimichi, who then expanded his body to be 15 meters tall. "Choji Akimichi, it was foolish of you to come here alone," Naruto said as he activated his complete humanoid Susanoo. Choji took out his staff to try to combat the Susanoo, but the Susanoo dodged the attack and gave a knee kick to Choji's stomach. Choji spat out blood and wobbled back. He tried attacking again, but the Susanoo gave him a right hook, then 2 more punches and then an uppercut, sending Choji flying off the tower. Cousin we're being attacked, look at the sky," Demon shouted through the comm links. Naruto heard the alarms ringing and looked up to see 6 airships flying to the stone village. The airships were from the hidden cloud, as Spring Country would not lend their ships to their emperor's enemies. Soldiers from the allied shinobi forces were dropping out of the airships, numbering in the tens of thousands, consisting of not just shinobi, but samurai and regular civilian soldiers from the many countries. Menma and Kakashi among the ones coming out of the airships, and upon seeing Menma, Naruto's rage grew. Demon, deploy all units, I want them to know the power of my empire. Adikaus. Naruto used his Susanoo to jump down from the Tsuchikage, and he walked forward steadily. Of course you are here. Who else other than the spoiled brat of a witch like you could have convinced the other Kage to do something so stupid like this? Naruto thought angrily as he advanced his Susanoo to the perfect stage. Menma then activated his KCM2, and the Nine Tails chakra avatar came to life. The two giant chakra avatars stared at each other, fully intending on pounding the other to the dust. Let's rumble, Menma. Naruto's perfect Susanoo roared as it charged straight at Menma in full speed. The Nine Tails too roared and charged at the Susanoo. Naruto outsmarted his half-brother and he tackled onto the fox, flying out of the stone so as to avoid unnecessary damage, and he dropped Menma on the ground, 5 miles away from stone. The Imperial soldiers fired their ammo onto the allied shinobi forces, with many dying before hitting the ground. Kakashi let go of his parachute and used Chidori Senbon to destroy the first machine gun turret he saw. Kakashi then used his Rikiri and ran straight at the Imperial soldiers, killing 4 in a split second. He then ran straight at a Chimera which was killing shinobi left and right. The Chimera spew out fire, but Kakashi dodged as he decapitated the Chimera on its 3 heads. Kakashi went on a killing spree, killing about 10 more soldiers. He came face to face with Demon Blackfire. Kakashi Haddock. I'm honored at having the chance to finally face you in combat. Demon said as he blocked Kakashi's Rikiri with his mortifer. You must be Prince Demon Blackfire. Kakashi said, to which Demon nodded. Kakashi then got deadly serious. From reading Danzo's journal and files, he knew who Demon was. He was the firstborn of Rayla and heir to the family. He was also high Kage level in the least, as he was Naruto's equal in many aspects. His bloodline, the Dark Angel, was what pushed Naruto to advance the Susanoo to its perfect stage, and his signature technique, the Fragor, made the tailed beast bomb look like a kitten in comparison. Kakashi took out his father's chakra saber, which earned his father the nickname of the White Fang. Kakashi endlessed the saber with his Rikiri, increasing its length to 4 feet. The chakra saber that once belonged to your father, the White Fang of the Leaf. Let's see how well it can dance against my family's mortifer. Demon said as he revealed the Sharingan in both his eyes. You have the Sharingan? Kakashi asked as the battle just got worse. Yes. Constantine told me that only I was worthy to have Itachi's eyes. Well, I don't consider myself as such. It's better that these eyes stay with me than with a shinobi of the east, especially one like Menma Yuzuka's. Amaterasu. And Demon lit his sword with the Amaterasu and attacked Kakashi. Kakashi blocked the mortifer sword with his father's saber as the two fought to see who was stronger. Elsewhere, Yamato and Sai along with Kankuro were fighting Yugao and Anko, who alongside Guren were protecting Shizuka as per Naruto's orders. Shizuka fought her enemies with the training she got from Naruto and used her diadem to control the Kurenai puppet and the new human puppet made from Akatsuki member Konan. Naruto threw the 9-tailed fox avatar on the ground, creating a big crater on the ground. Menma got up angrily as the two stared at each other. Menma and the fox avatar then charged at Naruto. The Susanoo used its wings as a shield to protect itself against the fox's punches, and it grabbed the fox's arms and gave a hard punch to the fox. The fox wobbled back, then came back to punch it again, but the Susanoo gave another hard punch, destroying the right side of the fox's face. The fox then used its tails and the Susanoo caught them. The Susanoo started lifting the fox, then spinning it around for half a minute, creating a mini tornado, then threw it to the mountains. The fox hit the mountains and had a hard fall, creating a large crater on the ground as he fell. Naruto manifested a katana and his Susanoo threw it at the fox, but the fox managed to jump up and the katana split every mountains. The fox then charged straight at the Susanoo, then tackled it to the ground. The fox tried attacking, but the Susanoo kicked the fox in the face and gave it a punch. The fox opened its mouth, gathering chakra in large amounts, and shot multiple mini-tailed beast bombs at the Susanoo. In response, the Susanoo threw several chaos-style Yasaka Magatama beads at the tailed beast bombs. I'm going to kill you, you loser Uchiha of a half-brother, then I'm going to take your eyes, your wives and concubines, and then rule your empire, Menma shouted to Naruto, revealing that he now knew of them being family. So you two know, huh? It's too bad that it would happen only in your dreams, you pathetic weakling. Shut up, Menma shouted as the fox avatar charged again. Susanoo fire style. Majestic destroyer Helblaz, Naruto shouted as his Susanoo breathed out an ocean of Amaterasu flames at Menma and the 9 tails. The 9 tails blocked with the tails but found the heat insufferable. Good that you're suffering, cause it's only going to get worse, Amaterasu Kagetsuchi. Dragon of the Darkness Flame. And the Amaterasu flames became 5 dragons and they attacked the fox. Menma deactivated his Nine Tails avatar and substituted as the black flame dragons attacked. Menma activated his fox avatar and the Susanoo flew up. Naruto prepared a scarlet raging blade on his Susanoo's left arm while Menma made a tailed beast bomb. The two clashed with their respective jutsu and created a big explosion. Menma got back up quickly and he fired multiple tailed beast bombs at Naruto, who used the Yata mirror to protect himself. Naruto pulled the Kusanagi sword from the Yata mirror and he used Kagetsuchi to call the dragons back and they fused with Kusanagi, creating a flaming sword of black hellfire. Naruto charged at Menma, intending to cut him to pieces, but the fox defended with its tails. The fox roared and pushed the Susanoo back and grabbed onto the Susanoo's legs, tackling the chakra samurai to the ground. Naruto used Kagetsuchi again to call one of the dragons and it bit on the fox's back all the while he dissipated his Susanoo and hid. Once the dragon exploded, Naruto reactivated his perfect Susanoo and it charged at Menma, cutting the fox with his Kusanagi and the impact destroyed much of the mountain range. Back in the stone village, the fighting between both armies continued. The streets were littered with the hundreds to thousands of corpses of soldiers from both armies. The airships of the hidden cloud were falling to the ground having been destroyed by the Imperial Air Force. The Imperial troopers threw bombs at the allied shinobi forces' defensive wall and continued advancing, aided by the numerous summons of the Rinnegan, thanks to Teiya. In the tower, Yamato and Sai were heavily injured against their opponents, and the human puppets in Kankuro was nearly unconscious. The duel between Kakashi and Demon was a stalemate as neither could gain an advantage over the other. Demon activated his Dark Angel bloodline but did not use the Fragor in fear of collateral damage. Kakashi was panting heavily and his clothes were all torn. He knew Demon was going to be a tough nut to crack but he didn't expect him to be this powerful. It seems that pant you and I are pretty even, Kakashi Haddock. Only my cousin could have kept up with me and last as long as you did. No wonder why you were chosen to be his teacher. Demon complimented as he enjoyed every second of the dance he had. Thanks. You're not half bad yourself, Prince. But this battle has raged on long enough, copy Ninja Kakashi. It's time to end this. Demon flew up as he opened the lion mouths on his wing. Fragor beam and Demon shot out a beam of laser that destroyed much of the allied shinobi forces in one go. Demon fired the Fragor beam at Kakashi who camuated it away. Demon flew straight at Kakashi who countered with Earth style. Mud Dragon Jutsu and he managed to imprison Demon, but not for long. Damn it. Everyone, retreat, Kakashi heard from the comms and every ninja started retreating. Seeing no choice, Kakashi too retreated along with the surviving ninja and regular soldiers. The decision to attack the Imperial Army head-on was stupid to begin with. You're not running away from your death, Haddock Demon shouted as he chased Kakashi and ordered all troops to stay inside the village. Naruto's Susanoo struck the ground with the sword of Kusanagi, creating a trench 500 feet deep, 30 feet wide and 3 miles in length. He TSK'd himself as he missed his target, Menma. Menma saw the other ninja and regular soldiers retreating and he got angry. Cowards, come back and fight them, and the Susanoo gave the fox a hard kick to the stomach. Once far enough away from stone, Demon flew above the allied shinobi forces as his wings came close to one another, preparing his attack. It's over now, be destroyed like the ants you are. Ultra Fragor and Demon unleashed the Ultra Fragor on the allied shinobi forces, destroying 30 miles of land and leaving a crater 5 miles deep. Kakashi, Might Guy, Yamato, Kankuro and Sai were able to escape via Kakashi's reverse summoning jutsu. Out of 35,000 soldiers that made up the counter-strike force, only they survived. Nice shot, Demon, Naruto half shouted at how his cousin destroyed the surviving soldiers of the allied shinobi forces. Menma, upon seeing the devastation, then tried running, but the Susanoo tackled him to the ground. The Susanoo grabbed onto the fox's head, then crushed it till it became splat. Menma managed to save himself by reverse summoning to the toads. Damn you, Menma, but it doesn't matter. I won today and the war continues to go in my favor. Next time we fight, not even the reverse summoning will help you. The Iron Crown, Imperial Army headquarters. Over 250,000 troops of the Grand Army were standing in battle formation outside their garrison. Soldiers armed with their rifles with some riding their manticore mounts. Manticores, those powerful and hideous monsters that lurked in the southern deserts of Bashan, a Blackfire vassal nation. Large black lions that stood over 2 meters tall with bat-like wings for flight and scorpion tails that can shoot poisonous spikes. These large ferocious animals were tamed by the Magagide army centuries before, and with their hides as tough as steel and armored from teeth to tail, they more than proved their worth for the Blackfires. The tanks were lined up in neat rows, and behind them were the motorized infantry. Large and powerful trucks that transported troops and carried the artillery division. And behind were the mighty behemoth war machines. Above them were the copter corps, the deadly wyvern horde and gorgon mounts. Helicopters are no stranger to us and need to introduction. Wyverns were large dragon-like creatures that lived near the volcanic mountain range called Thangorodrim in Magog. relatives to the dragons of the Shadowlands, but lacked the intelligence and magical powers associated with the dragons. The Gorgons were female human snake hybrids. They were 4.5 meters long and were bigger than the average human. They had snake coils as their lower body and bat-like wings on their back and had snakes for hair. Their eyes could turn humans and creatures to stone upon a glance. The Gorgons were armored all over with face coverings to avoid friendly fire, machine gun emplacements and flamethrowers on their wrists, and huge spiked maces on their tail tips. Imperial troops were seated on their backs, riding their mounts with specialized machinery that controlled the brains of the Gorgons, for unlike wyverns, manticores, chimeras and other creatures of the continent, Gorgons were untamable. "Hail Emperor Constantine, Hail Emperor Constantine, Hail Emperor Constantine," were the shouts of the troops as they waited for the Emperor. And Naruto with his wife Shizuka were flying atop cuiraxes and were floating above the troops. "Hail Emperor Constantine, Hail Emperor Constantine, Hail Emperor Constantine," the soldiers continued their shouts, hailing their emperor. Naruto stood up and raised his sword, that infamous sword called the Narada, and addressed his troops. "We moved to Kumagakure and we raised the land of lightning," Naruto shouted, and all his men shouted, "to Kumo." Cuiraxes flew and the wyverns, the Gorgon mounts as well as the copters followed, and the soldiers began their march towards Kumagakure no Sato, the village hidden in the clouds. "To think that we'll move to the hidden clouds so soon. The campaign is going smoothly on our parts, isn't it, my mirror flower?" asked Naruto to his wife, the titled Queen of War. "Indeed, my dear. Soon, all of this world will be under your control, my love," she replied back and Naruto smiled. "Ours, my mirror flower. Not just mine, but ours. We will rule it together, and so will our child and our descendants that will follow." Naruto kissed the hand of his wife, and he walked to the trooper who was the driver for cuiraxes, not that the dragon needed one to begin with. "You know what it means?" "Kumagakure?" Naruto asked the trooper who looked lost at the sudden question his emperor had just asked. "The village hidden in the clouds." And the two laughed. Naruto because all the build-up and tension was just for that, and the trooper because he was a Magagite, trained to fight in foggy and mist-like conditions. For the trooper, the village had a silly name because he thought its people relied on the clouds for cover, which was useless, given he as well tens of millions of Magagites being trained to fight in misty conditions. The Kumagakure, burned it to the ground. The army was marching steadily ever nearer to the hidden cloud, and the citizens were thrown in a great panic. Hidden Cloud Village. The citizens were fleeing into the village gates in great fear as the Grand Army approached the gates of the Hidden Cloud. The Sealing Corps were busy trying to activate the barrier seals that protected the village from outside threats, all the while scared citizens of the Land of Lightning poured into the village. Quickly to the village, men shouted in fear as they ran as fast as they could to the village. Scared parents tried their best to get their children into the village, hoping at least they will survive. "Run for your lives. They brought an army here. Lord Raikage, save us." Sounds from jet planes were heard as a wave of 30 planes flew and unleashed hell on the village. Dozens of people were killed as village infrastructure was destroyed by their blasts. The Cloud Nin tried bravely to destroy the planes with everything they had, even using the newly built catapults, but it was useless. The planes were just too fast. The copters came and continued the onslaught on the village and its inhabitants with their machine guns and rocket launchers. The Gorgon mounts landed and turned those unlucky enough to gaze at them to stone. The wyverns led by cuiraxes were unleashing storms of fire on the village. No one, not the richest noble or the poorest street beggar, from old to young, none were safe. "Hi!" Naruto exclaimed in ecstasy as cuiraxes burned the buildings with his fire. The 5 soldiers who were with him were using the mounted machine gun emplacements on cuiraxes to kill as many as they could. That's it, burn them all. Elsewhere, the Sealing Corps were finally able to get the seals finished and it was ready for activation. The seals around the village walls were glowing and Naruto saw it. The RRRH sound the horn call off the aerial assault. "We'll siege this relic of the past and starve them to death." Naruto ordered as one of his troops sounded the horn and the aerial assault group left just as the energy shield dome was finished and the Cloud Village was safe, for now. Allied Shinobi Headquarters. Crush. The Raikage had crushed his table with his 2 hands as news just reached him and the other cage that the Hidden Cloud was under siege and Naruto's army was rampaging across Lightning Country. "Unacceptable," the Raikage roared out in all of his rage. "This brat, who does he think he is? He is sieging my village and burning everything in my country. I say we attack him with all our might and eliminate him, once and for all." "You are being too rash, Lord Raikage." Tsunade Senju, 5th Hokage of the Leaf, spoke up. "We already tried doing that when Naruto was in stone and look where it got us. If we do it again, we'll get the same result, only worse this time if he deals to us another blow like last time." But that last one failed only because the Namikaze child was the one who led the charge. He was brash, proud and without a strategy. "But now, we will attack with all the cage present." The Uchiha brat can't take on all four of us Kage at once, and with all our best Jonin and Anbu. Even still came the old voice of the Tsuchikage, we lack the necessary manpower needed to face his army. About 250,000 are besieging the hidden cloud. 250,000 alone besieging a single village. All our shinobi, chunin, special jonin and anbu from the four villages number 65,000 and samurai from our daimyos, as well as those from our allies, number well over 120,000. And then the civilian soldiers who are 160,000 in total. Altogether we have an army of 343,000. But that is nothing compared to our enemy. And not to mention the fact that we're centuries behind the technology of his empire. The Uchiha has 250,000 soldiers besieging the hidden cloud, with 100,000 more rampaging across the land of lightning. He has more than 500,000 soldiers in Earth Country and millions in other parts of the continent. If what we got from our best infiltrators and spies say is true, then an army of 200 million will soon come to this land. I'm sorry Lord Raikage, but the village is on its own. But the Raikage tried to plead with the other Kage to save his village, but it was futile. Their troops were spread all over the continent and Naruto's army was much larger than theirs, numbering in the tens of millions. And they needed to save as many as they could against a much larger army that was coming from the west. An army that numbered 200 million. Hidden Cloud Village, 2 weeks later. It was night time and Naruto's army was encamped around the village. The energy dome protected the village, but they were trapped inside, starving to death. Naruto had specifically ordered his aerial assault units to target the food and weapons first. Much of the food in the village was destroyed and the inhabitants were starving. Sitting ducks, at the mercy of Naruto. Has all escape routes been checked again? I want no escape or anyone getting in or out. Not that they can, since that would mean undoing their protective dome. Naruto said to his army commander who stood near him as Naruto was near a bonfire, enjoying wine and food. Yes, my emperor. No one is getting in or out. The commander replied as Naruto sipped his wine and smiled. Then, command the troops to begin the assault. We burn this village tonight. Yes, my emperor. The army commander left and Naruto bit into the roasted thigh of a goat. So it begins. Naruto commented as he could hear the loading of the cannons. Elsewhere, a giant 6-meter-tall war troll was getting warmed up. He had been covered from head to toe in black armor and on his head was a huge battering ram. The troll's purpose was simple. Destroy the seals. And with that, the troll lunged forward and hit the seals. A loud booming sound was heard as the war troll did a second attack, and louder sounds followed. The artillery division fired their shells as the protective shield dome was down by 60%. The troll attacked again, and now it was down to 90%. Strike hard. Naruto said to his troops as he handed them their rifles. Strike hard and true. Show no mercy. Show your fury on the battlefield, strike hard, and victory will be ours, and whatever is left of the village to plunder, help yourselves. The war troll attacked and the protective dome was down. The army commander gave his signal, and the cannons were shot. The bombing destroyed buildings and killed dozens of people. The war troll got back on his feet and rammed through the gate, destroying it as if it was paper. The Cloud Nin tried valiantly to fight back, but their attacks were useless against the war troll, and 3 other trolls mounted with machine guns on their back came to assist. Screeching sounds were heard, and the Gorgon mount swooped in for the kill. The chimeras were launched into the city, and they caused devastation. The soldiers came and fought with the Cloud Nin, samurai and civilian militia. They fought bravely, but it was useless against the more numerous and better trained Westerners. Soon, the cloud resistance was falling, and much of the village was under Blackfire control. In one alley, one samurai was fleeing from a Blackfire soldier when the samurai bumped into a helpless mother trying to protect her child. The samurai ran hurriedly as the mother hid her child in a small room. No, not my child, the mother pleaded, but the Blackfire soldier would not listen, and he pushed her aside and went to her child, screaming in fear, and the child screamed no more in the next moment. Archers were atop a bridge connected to 2 buildings, and the archers managed to kill 3 Blackfire troops. A soldier shot a rocket at the bridge, destroying it, and the Nemean Lion cavalry ran and devoured the helpless civilians. The Blackfire army swarmed into the village and large sections of the village burned with fire. On. The Cloud Nin surrendered. Naruto was walking towards the Raikage building as his soldiers kneeled down at his presence, chanting Hail Emperor Constantine. Naruto walked to the Raikage tower to see the burning village before him, and he smiled. The elemental nations would soon be under his command. Naruto searched the old scrolls in the Raikage's office as he wanted something which the Raikage held but knew nothing about. A scroll detailing about an island in the Land of Water. Land of Water. On his flagship, the Vengeance Star, Naruto looked over an island in the Land of Water. It was 3 days since Naruto laid waste to Cloud, and here he was sailing with his troops and armada to a small island in the Land of Water. Can you tell me why we're here, Chaos? I don't understand why we are going to this uncharted island in the middle of nowhere while our forces are fighting in the front. Demon asked his cousin. He didn't understand why Naruto was going here of all places and in this time. I have to agree with Demon, my love. You should be fighting in the front with your men, not going to uncharted islands. His wife added her own thoughts, and Naruto couldn't help but feel a bit hurt. My mirror flower, that hurts. You think I would leave my men like that? No. Not really, but why are we here of all places? Because of this. Naruto put the scroll he found in the Raikage's office on the table, as well as a page from the book, Chronicles of the Kings of Arid Man Enoch. That page that describes the island upon which the High King Enoch was buried. Demon remarked at seeing the sketched map on THR book. But, explorers over the centuries have tried to find the island, but they haven't found the island to date. They even say Enoch wasn't even a real person to begin with, unless the island was never there on the west but here in the east. What? Look at the scroll, Demon. Match it with the book. Demon did so and was speechless at what he saw. The island where King Enoch was buried is here on the elemental nations. Yes. And what once belonged to Enoch will now belong to me. How did you find the island, Chaos? Simple. My late brother Shisui would tell me tales about the Third Ninja War, the battles and plans and other such stuff. One of these tales was about how the Cloud was trying to build a base on an island in the land of water, but somehow, the 130 ninjas sent there disappeared, never to be heard from again. When Mist was placed under my control, I had a look at a map detailing every island in case I wanted to use them as a base for my invasion of the Leaf. One of these islands stood out to me because of its strange shape and a presence was calling out to me from there, and I happened to take a glance at the book and I matched the two islands. They are one and the same. Naruto concluded before looking at his wife. Tell me, my mirror flower, have I told you about the Chascomf? Yes, my love. Lots of times. Shizuka simply replied, though she loved hearing the Chascomf tale. Yes, but there is more to the Chascomf than we thought. The dragons of the Shadowlands told me of the Dragon King before Father Bahamut, the one named Tiffin. Tiffin? The same Tiffin killed by King Enoch over 12,000 years ago. Demon asked and Naruto nodded his head. Indeed. According to the dragons, he was the mightiest of them all, but he wanted to explore the world of man, so he took his wife, Echidna, as well as some followers, and with their power, arrived at this world. And everything else is as described in the Chascomf. A meteor with strange powers landed on modern-day Rosh over 12,000 years ago, and Enoch forged a sword from that meteor, using it to slay Tiffin in his sleep, and Enoch was crowned the first king. As for the monster believed to hide in this island, well, it's one of the 9 Leviathans. The Leviathans? But which one? Demon asked, knowing how powerful just one of the Leviathans are, and knew it would take his and Naruto's full power to beat one, much less kill one. Which one I do not know. Ancient legends told by the Uchiha clan elders tell of a tale how the clan's founder, Indra, fought a gigantic sea serpent named Vritra. A tale every Uchiha knows. For 10 days and nights, Indra fought the creature till he was finally victorious. Vritra, as I discover, is one of the 9 Leviathans. So, 1 Leviathan dead. 8 more still. You know, Chaos, if what legends say is true, then whoever possessed the Iron Crown of Enoch, then they control the Leviathans. Indeed, Chaos. And that's why we're going here. We stop here. If the Leviathan awakens, then our ships are in danger. Tell the troops to get ready to make camp on the island. The Blackfire soldiers were searching the island per Naruto's orders, but they found nothing. No semblance to a structure or anything close to a marking. Absolutely nothing. Naruto looked at the landscape with his Sharingan active but still nothing. Amity shouted in anger. Where is it? Where could Enoch have been buried? There has to be something here to mark his grave, but where is it? Naruto in anger kicked at the ground, and as luck would have it, he kicked something metallic. What? He looked at where he kicked and saw something. Naruto used his hands to wipe away the moss and sand, and then, he saw something akin to symbols and a metallic structure. Here, start digging here. I believe we found Enoch's tomb. Naruto ordered his men and they did so. Soon, a labyrinth-like structure appeared and Naruto walked to the center. These word symbols they are in the old tongue of the ancient world. It reads, herein lies the king, Enoch, slayer of Tiffin and lord of the world. Now, your great weapons belong to me now, King Enoch, Naruto declared, just as a great and terrifying sound was heard. The waters were rising as they saw 4 gigantic tentacles appear on the island, surrounding them. Great howling and gnashing of teeth were heard as info from the aerial units came in. The creature, whatever it was, huge. Its length was well over kilometers long, and it was rising. The Leviathan Scylla. Demon murmured as the Leviathan known as Scylla appeared. She was enormous. People thought the 9-tailed fox was huge, but Scylla made it appear like a harmless kitten. Scylla stood over 10 kilometers tall. She looked a beautiful woman, but she had 12 tentacles and 6 large vipers, armed with 3 rows of razor-sharp teeth. 6 wolf-like heads appeared on her waist, and her skin was harder than metal. Naruto had to admit, Scylla was a bit terrifying to look at. He knew that she wasn't going to be an easy foe to take down. Indra, founder of the Uchiha clan and rivaled in strength only by him and Madara, had spent 10 days and nights battling her brother Vritra, and Indra nearly died on numerous occasions in the battle. Scylla wasn't going to be an easy foe, but he wasn't backing down either. Battle formations take place where the tentacles and serpent heads won't reach you. Avoid direct confrontation with her since your weapons are useless. Demon, let's battle a Leviathan. Naruto said as he activated his dragon armor and Demon activated his angel bloodline, and the two attacked Scylla. Naruto fired a Grand Ray Zero, but it did nothing to Scylla. The ferocious Leviathan merely laughed and sent her tentacles to attack Naruto. Demon fired several beams from his wings, but they too did nothing on Scylla. The two were flying around, aided by the jet planes, but whatever they threw at her seemed to do nothing to Scylla. Naruto tried to attack, but Scylla slapped him away. Then, one gigantic tentacle was going to hit Naruto. Naruto, seeing the attack, activated his humanoid Susanoo and avoided the attack. One of the viper heads lunged at Naruto, and Naruto activated his Rinnegan. Almighty push, he shouted as the repulsive blast did some damage to the viper head. Chaos style. Primordial Dragon of the Void, Naruto shouted as he created a red lightning dragon and coated it with Amaterasu flames. The fiery lightning dragon attacked the serpent head in Scylla, burning her, but her regenerative powers healed her instantly. Naruto took advantage and unleashed a barrage of Amaterasu endless Yusaka beads and with the Kusanagi, cut off one of the viper heads. Naruto looked at the decapitated head but saw a new one growing back instantly. Past regeneration. Not even Jinchuriki heal that fast. TCH, this will be a lot harder than I expected. Naruto commented just as Scylla's tentacle struck Naruto. Naruto was hurled up as Scylla then slammed Naruto down with another tentacle. The force of the tentacle slam was powerful enough to shatter Naruto's humanoid Susanoo like glass. Ooh, that hurt. A lot. So, this is your power, Scylla. I will enjoy using your power to crush my enemies to dust. Naruto said as he flew away from Scylla since she opened her wolf heads and great streams of fire poured out. The heat from the fires spewed out by Scylla's wolf heads was so intense that they melted the island rocks. Demon unleashed a Fragor, but Scylla took it like it was nothing. What impossible, she took my Fragor like it was nothing. How are we supposed to AI a Demon screamed as he was tentacle tackled and Scylla spew out a lake of intense fire at Demon. Naruto, using the Yata mirror, saved Demon from a fiery death. He used his Susanoo to unleash a barrage of Yusaka beads at Scylla, but all it did was irritate her much further. The jets were a nuisance to Scylla, so she unleashed a mighty roar that destroyed all of the jet planes. Shit. This is going absolutely nowhere. Scylla is too powerful a foe to be fought. We need the crown of Enoch. It's our only hope. Naruto remarked to himself as he activated his perfect Susanoo and flew up to face Scylla for round 2. Naruto's Susanoo was powerful, no questions about it, but despite its power, all of its strikes against Scylla proved to be useless as she regenerated instantly. Naruto coated Kusanagi with rage and lightning and Amaterasu flames, but it wasn't enough. Scylla gave a punch to the Susanoo, dealing quite a bit of damage to the Susanoo. Shit, Demon, if you are listening to me, open Enoch's tomb and get the crown. I need it now and not a moment too late. Hurry, Naruto shouted over at the comms, and Demon heard it. On it, Chaos. Demon said as he called the troops and they rushed to Enoch's tomb, but Scylla would not allow that. She blocked the path to Enoch's tomb and she punched the Susanoo to the ground, cracks all over it. Naruto was badly wounded. He was punched by Scylla and the impact created a big crater. His wife attended to him, trying to help her husband get up. That hurt more than I expected. He plainly said as he tried getting up. Naruto stood up, helped by his wife as he saw Demon fighting the Leviathan and soldiers trying to open Enoch's tomb, but with great difficulty. Enoch's tomb was almost impervious to any weapon they possessed. Naruto could sense a powerful seal of magic protecting the tomb and he knew what to do. He gave his sword to his wife as he told her what to do. Take the Narada and destroy the magic dome protecting the tomb. The Narada's powers should enable us to get the crown we need to subdue Scylla to my will. Naruto said and Shizuka left to do as her husband commanded. Naruto flew up once more and channeled a large portion of his chakra for a single attack. Demon, out of the way. Demon heard this and flew away as Naruto unleashed his attack. Almighty push. Naruto used the almighty push against Scylla. The power he used was equal to the one Pain used in his assault against a leaf, if not more powerful. Scylla was pushed back and a large shadow loomed over her and she looked up and was shocked at what she saw. Heavenly obstacle quaking star. Apocalypse Tengai Shinsei. Naruto had used his Rinnegan to pull in a meteor from the planet's orbit and it was now going to be dropped on Scylla. Scylla was crushed by the meteor and Naruto unleashed a powerful Grand Ray Zero and Demon fired an Ultra Fragor on Scylla, causing the meteor to explode. Seconds passed away in silence, then, Scylla rose from the explosion, burns and damage all over, but her regeneration was fixing her up. She was coming at the two in great speeds when Naruto saw that Enoch's tomb was opened and the two rushed there. On Enoch's tomb, Naruto saw the skeleton of the ancient king, wearing his obsidian armor, and his wife presented to her husband his new crown. Now, the Leviathans obey a new king, Naruto said as he put on Enoch's iron crown. The iron crown, made from the heart of Tiffin and the meteor that slayed the dragon, had 3 horn-like protrusions and 3 beautiful diamonds on them. Naruto wore it, and the diamonds glowed just as Scylla was about to attack. "Stop," Naruto ordered, and Scylla's eyes glowed and she complied, her mind now subservient to the new bearer of the crown. "Good," Naruto muttered as he saw the mighty Leviathan now his tool for war. The Sharingan and the Rinnegan may be able to control the tailed beasts, humans, as well as summoning animals, by placing them under a genjutsu, but the dragons and Leviathans were no ordinary creatures. Only Enoch's crown could tame the Leviathans, and now, it was in Naruto's possession. "Let the elemental nations howl in despair now that my rule over them will be unchallenged," Naruto declared as a mighty storm appeared, and he laughed. His laughter rang across the area and sent shivers to his enemies. But the Leviathans under his control, this one-sided war, got even more unfair. Author's notes: Chaskampf, meaning the chaos struggle in German, is a term used to describe the similar stories about a god versus sea snake in various myths around the world. In the Chaskampf creation myth, a god, most often a storm god, embodying creation and order, battles a sea serpent or dragon that embodies chaos, darkness and destruction, and slays the serpent, which later would serve as the earth or the earth's foundation. The Babylonian creation epic, the Enuma Elish, describes how the chief god Marduk slays Tiamat, the primordial goddess of sea water and mother to the world's monsters. After slaying Tiamat, Marduk cuts her body in 2, and one half became the earth's landmass, and the other half becomes the heavens. The ancient Canaanites tell of how Balor-Hadad slays the 7-headed serpent pet of the sea god Yam named Lotan. In Egypt there is the god of darkness Apep that battles the sun god Ra every day. The dawn, believed by the ancient Egyptians, signified Ra's victory over Apep, and they pray that Ra will continue to defeat Apep every day. In Greece, they have Typhon and Zeus. Not wanting to see her children, the Titans get defeated, the primordial Gaia procreated with Tartarus to bring forth Typhon to help her children. Typhon is called the father of monsters because with his mate Echidna, they were the parents to some of Greek myth's most famous monsters. Some include but not limited to Orthrus, Cerberus, the Hydra, the eagle that torments Prometheus, Ladon, the Sphinx, the Nemean lion and the Chimera. Typhon would battle Zeus and actually defeat Zeus, tearing the god's tendons from his body. But Zeus would come back again and defeat Typhon, imprisoning him in Tartarus and placing Mt.Etna on top of Typhon. The Norse have Jormungandr, the eldest child of Loki and the giantess Angrboda, and his rivalry with Thor. Jormungandr, which means great beast, is sometimes called the world serpent because he was so large and so long that Jormungandr could envelop the world. In Ragnarok, Thor and Jormungandr would face off in a last battle where Thor would kill Jormungandr, but Jormungandr's venom would in turn kill Thor. In Hindu mythology, the storm god Indra slays the serpent Vritra, which embodied the droughts that devastated the lands. In Japan, the storm god Susanoo slays the 8-headed Yamata no Orochi to rescue a beautiful woman who later became his wife. Demons of the ancient world. Sand Sea, Cytherio. Deep in the desert sands of the continent of Cythatio was a white-skinned female covered with tattoo marks. She wore red clothing, and her clothes were soaked in her sweat. She was digging up a site in the desert all by herself. One would say she was mad, but all the priests and sorcerers of the Order of Baal indeed were mad in some ways. Her name was Kali, last of the Baal order, and now, she was getting frustrated and angry. Drrrrrrrh, damn it, curse this damn heat, I would conjure a storm to cool myself off, if only I had the materials needed, damn it all, Kali shouted in anger as she sat down under the scorching heat. Now, young women like you shouldn't be so loud. Especially rare specimens like you. Rang the voice of her partner from the radio comms. Shut it, Caputo. Well, we may be over 100,000 miles apart, my magic can turn your reanimations against you. After all, I was the one who gave you complete control over them via my knowledge of the dark arts. Kali hissed at her so-called ally and Kabuto knew he had to be careful with his words. Okay, I give. I would send some of my our reanimations, don't forget my part in bringing them, you worm of a man. Okay, our reanimations, but the war needs every available reanimation against the multitudes under Naruto and the shinobi from the villages. Kabuto said, and it did nothing to quell her anger. You need it your ass. I swear Kabuto, I'll make you pay in some way. Kali replied and continued digging. Just what were you searching for in this desert again? Some demons of the ancient world was all you told me. Indeed. Legends tell of how the Leviathan Apophis hid here in the deserts of Cytheria thousands of years ago with his worshippers, the demonic Devites. Former men corrupted by his power to become demons under his will. They built a great city here beneath the sands called Ouroboros, but were buried when Apophis entered a deep hibernation. If what my sources say is true, then I'm standing where the lost city of Ouroboros is located. Are you certain? Positive? I just need to Akali screamed as she fell through a hole buried beneath the sands. She was falling ever deeper and she then used a spell to float and land safely. Kabuto, can you hear me? Kabuto. Signal must be jammed by the metal in these tunnels. Kali summoned fire to her hands and she used them as a torch as she continued to walk and explore the tunnel systems. She explored for an hour but found nothing. She decided to take a rest as she sipped the last of her water. Where are you damn Devite supposed to be? She asked to no one in particular just as she heard some noise. She got up and walked to where she heard said noise and hid behind the stone pillars just when she saw them. The Devites. 3 Devites were in front of her. 2 were short, about 5'6", and the other stood well over 6'7". Devites were split into 4 classes and the 2 smaller ones were of the scout class, while the larger was of the strongest class, the berserker. The Devites were digging at the rocks of the tunnels looking for something, but that didn't matter to Kali. All she needed was a strand of hair or a drop of blood for her ritual. A ritual that would enable her to control all the Devites as well as their Leviathan, Apophis. She would need Apophis more than ever should she face Naruto in full strength since he now controlled 2 Leviathans. Kali tried to move as quietly as she could, but she accidentally kicked a small pebble, and in the deep tunnels, even the smallest sounds echo like thunder. The Devites turned around and looked at the human. It had been thousands of years since they had seen a human and with their hunger, were willing to go cannibal, and so they lunged towards Kali, who skillfully dodged their attacks. Kali threw 3 knives at a Devite scout, but her knives shattered upon impact. She should have known regular knives, even magical ones, could not even scratch the Devite skin, which was many times harder than steel. Kali tried to use her magic, but the Devites countered with blasts of purple energy from their hands. The berserker launched purple lightning at Kali, but she dodged and made a quick escape. The Devites pursued her, searching for her, but she was hidden. Used an invisibility spell to mask her presence. Then, she walked slowly, carefully and quietly, and used her magic to trap a Devite scout with earth magic. The Devite roared defiantly at the restraint and tried to get free as the witch plucked a hair from the scout. Now hush, demon. Soon, you and your kind will help me kill my enemies and get revenge for my mother and brethren. Kali said as she prepared the ritual just as she heard the other 2 coming back. Damn it. I just need a few seconds more. Kali finished the ritual as seals covered her forehead and a psychic signal was sent as the Devites stopped their attack. Now kneel. Kali ordered as the Devites complied without a moment's hesitation and the last witch smiled at seeing her plan go her way. Savage Sea, Cytherea. In the Savage Sea of Cytherea were 2 lines of war fleets. Naruto was personally leading his armada consisting of 5 dreadnoughts, 7 carriers, 10 cruisers, 14 destroyers, 20 battleships and 24 frigates. Aboard his Vengeance Star, Naruto looked over at the fleet in front of him. The king of Nagash named Akram IV was a vassal to Naruto, but he rebelled against him by raiding ports in Rosh and selling modern weapons to the allied shinobi forces. The selling of modern weapons to his enemies in the ongoing war angered Naruto since he lost 4 divisions in the last week about 3 weeks since he laid waste to Cloud, and now, he was going to show Akram as well as his other vassals, tempted to betray him, the true price for betrayal. Naruto walked on board the deck of his warship and stood in front of his men. Getting their attention, Naruto addressed his troops as they got prepared for battle. My soldiers, my loyal brethren who fought alongside me in the fields of arid Man Enoch and the elemental nations to the savage seas of Cytherea. Hear my words, the King Akram of Nagash has betrayed me, supplying our enemies with weapons and killing thousands of our brothers and sisters, but that ends today. Let the foolish king know what happens when he crosses a Blackfire and the price of his betrayal. Let all our vassal states know what happens to Nagash today will be what happens to them, should they betray me. Let no joyful voice be heard today. Let no man look up at the sky in hope. Let this day be cursed. We who are ready to awaken one of the Leviathans, let them dread this day, for it is the day we release the Kraken. The soldiers shouted upon hearing that. The Kraken. The terrifying squid-like leviathan of the ocean depths that has terrorized the oceans for years on end was now a pawn under their emperor's control. Now, the same monster that caused untold devastation was a weapon to be used against their enemies. On the other side of the sea, the Nagashi were preparing for battle just as a loud sound was sound and their warships impacted on something. Was it a reef? They asked each other until they heard one of the sailors screaming and saw that he was being plucked away by a gigantic tentacle, and more crashing sounds were heard. They were being rocked on their ships as they saw a gigantic whirlpool, lined with fearsome shark-like teeth, in the middle of the fleet. It's the Kraken, some of them shouted as the tentacles began attacking them. Small corvettes were easily thrown away by the Kraken's tentacles as the ships tried to shoot the creature, but all their cannons couldn't damage the sea monster even in the slightest. The Kraken's huge tentacles moved as 4 of them grabbed onto a carrier and lifted it up, then throwing it at the city of Nagash. On the other side, the soldiers of the Empire shouted in joy at seeing the monstrous Kraken lay waste to their enemies. Naruto smiled as his crown glowed and the Kraken arose. His form was huge, towering above the ships and mountains, and with a loud roar, attacked the Nagashi fleet. The Kraken used its tentacles to destroy the cannons mounted on the hillside and the wall of Nagash before attacking the remaining ships. Naruto unsheathed the Narada as he declared to his troops, "Now we attack the city, leave no survivors," and with that he leapt from his flagship and stood on the water. Then, his soldiers capable of chakra manipulation followed and they ran towards the city. The wyverns and gorgon mounts followed with copters and jets not too far away. Naruto ran up the beach and used his chakra to jump into the destroyed wall of the city. Naruto decapitated a Nagashi soldier as dozens came to attack him. He blocked an axe swing and sliced the soldier in his intestines. Naruto kicked him away as he did a somersault, avoiding the blasts of rifles. Naruto shot a fireball and burned them to ashes. Naruto then sliced an approaching trooper, then used his zero to kill 4 more. "Raze the city to the ground," Naruto ordered as his army came full swing attacking the city. "And find Akaram and bring him to me." After an hour of fighting, the city was up in flames and Naruto was walking through the streets with his wife and his troops on the right and left, kneeling down as he passed through them, chanting, "Hail Emperor Constantine, hail Emperor Constantine, hail Emperor Constantine. What of the survivors, my liege?" His army commander asked Naruto, and the latter was thinking for a second before answering. "Kill a quarter of the soldiers. Then, take what's left of Nagash's population, men, women, children, old or young, and ship them off to Magog. We need more workers in the forges after all." "Yes, my liege." The commander replied and with a single hand gesture, ordered the troops, and they proceeded to execute a quarter of the surrendered soldiers, all 45,000 of them, and then they moved to fulfill their emperor's second command. The deportation of Nagash's population. Naruto continued walking when his men brought before King Akaram with his 2 sons. "You think you can betray me, and that I would not retaliate? Now look where it has gotten you." Naruto gave the king a hard punch to the stomach and he spat out blood. Naruto proceeded to beat up the king and his 2 sons, the princes of Nagash, cried out, trying to stop their father from being beaten up. "Shhh, quiet, quiet." Naruto tried to quiet them as the 2 soldiers put their hands over their mouth. Naruto gestured to his commander and the army commander moved, knife in his hand, and slit the throats of the squirming boys. "No, no," Akaram cried out as he saw his 2 sons die before his eyes. The soldiers restricted him and he was crying there on the spot. "Know this. My face is the last thing you'll ever see," Naruto said as he held a hot knife and pierced Akaram's eyes with it, blinding him. The king's cries of pain rang loud throughout the city's ruins, and Naruto merely shrugged. "Take him away. Tell the armada of Rosh to prepare itself. I will be leaving this continent with the divisions and armada of Rosh." "Yes, my emperor." The trooper left as Naruto looked over the ruined city. He smiled to himself as this would serve as a message and constant reminder to those who would even think of betraying him. Night. Naruto was in his bedroom, passionately kissing his wife when a soldier hurriedly knocked on the door. "What is it, trooper? Didn't I tell you not to disturb my precious time unless it was an absolute emergency? This better be good." Naruto warned as the soldier came in, putting his hands over his eyes so as to not see his emperor and empress naked. "My most sincerest of apologies, my lord, but a radio signal came in from the Sand Sea. We identified it with the computers and we have confirmed it to be the last witch, Kali." The soldier finished speaking as the royal couple wore some clothes and what was spoken caught Naruto's interests. "That witch. After all this time, she decided to show herself. Where is she?" "In the Sand Sea. 340 miles from where your armada is, my lord." "Good. I will have the satisfaction of removing that witch's head from her neck with my bare hands. I'm sorry we have to end this so soon, my dear, but I have a witch to hunt," Naruto said as he entered his wardrobe and put on his armor and crown. He walked out to the bridge and used the wings of his dragon armor to fly where Kali's location was. He was going to make her pay for she did to him all those years ago. Unknown location, Sand Sea. Naruto dispelled his wings as he fell down to the cave and landed inside the tunnel. His metallic boots ringing with each step in the tunnels. As he walked deeper into the tunnel, Naruto entered a large circular room and on top of the walls was Kali, walking around like a spider. "You don't waste time, do you?" she asked as Naruto merely him. "I can see that you have no witches or sorcerers here with you. Good that you decide to fight me head on like a true warrior, but shame you are nothing compared to me." Naruto taunted as he prepared to fire a zero at the witch, but the Divite berserker snuck behind him, then leapt forward and tackled Naruto. Naruto managed to get free from the berserker's hold and he chakra punched him away. One of the scouts attacked, but Naruto dodged in time and he jumped back to better assess his situation. "These monsters under your control, they are the ancient Divites." "Indeed. Surprising how you know so much of the history of the other conscience so well. You don't seem surprised that they obey me." "Why should I be? Mental domination is an all too well-known trick you worshippers of Baal use to enslave people to your will. Flaw is if the caster dies, the victims are set free. So I kill you, then I will use whatever means necessary to win the Devite's allegiance. You? Kill me? Never, it's you who will die by my hands. Naruto Uchiha, kill him. I want to crush his heart in my own hands as I pluck out his precious eyes from his skull. Kali ordered, and all three Devites attacked. The Devite scout managed to lock arms with Naruto, but after a bit of struggling, Naruto freed his arms and punched the Devite. He fired a zero which the Devite countered with a blast of purple energy. Naruto used Majestic Demolisher Flame on the Devite scout, temporarily subduing him for the time being. The other scout leapt forward, but Naruto bitch slapped him to the wall. The Berserker took out his sword staff and dueled Naruto and the Narada. Naruto proved to be the superior fighter, but the Devite Berserker gave him an uppercut, sending him flying upwards, and the Devite jumped up and slashed Naruto, giving him a fatal wound on the shoulders. The Devite fired balls of purple energy as Naruto fell down, shoulder bleeding and pain all over his chest. The Devite landed not too far away from Naruto as the latter tried getting up. Now I will get revenge for my mother and brethren you killed. Spit, you think I'll die? By you? Think again. Know this. I honed my skills through blood and fire, Naruto declared as he attacked the Devite Berserker head-on. The two clashed swords again, and Naruto overpowered the Berserker, cutting off one of his horns in the process. The Berserker screamed in pain, but Naruto gave a powerful kick to his stomach and gave an uppercut. Payback for the one the Devite gave him earlier. The RRRRRR finish him, Kali ordered in anger, and the Berserker got up and with the two scouts, attacked all at once. One of the Devite scouts attacked with a purple laser beam, and Naruto countered with his zero. Naruto jumped up as he punched the Devite scout to the wall and fired another zero at the beaten scout. The other scout attacked, but Naruto gave a powerful kick and he battled the Berserker again. The Berserker was physically stronger, so Naruto utilized his superior speed and agility to wear the Berserker out. Naruto and the Berserker clashed with their respective blades when the scout attacked again. Enough of this. Naruto said as he summoned an arm of his Susanoo which punched the Devite scout to the wall. Naruto used a skeletal arm to slap the Berserker away as a rapier-style blade manifested and he used it to kill the Devite scout. Naruto then dispelled his Susanoo and he ran straight at the Berserker and in one swing, decapitated the Devite. In a loud thud the head of the Devite landed and Naruto raised his sword to the air. Let that be a warning against anyone who dares challenge a true Uchiha and Blackfire, be they from the east or from the west, Naruto declared, but he fell to his knees, the blood loss from his shoulder wound taking its toll. He took out a syringe enlaced with dragon spinal fluid, but Kali kicked it away. Naruto looked up to see her with a lightning spell on her hand, smiling down at him. I told you, Emperor, you died today by my hands. As she was about to strike, Naruto used the remainder of his strength to jump back, just as bullets were fired to separate him from Kali. The two looked up to see Demon leading a group of 30 soldiers riding on 15 Gorgon war mounts enter the cave. The soldiers surrounded Kali as the medics attended to their emperor. Kali, I should have killed you when I had the chance 3 years back. Give up and I may allow you to live. How about you all kill yourselves and send me postcards from Tartarus? That's it, Annihilator, Demon ordered, and the troops fired, but she used a smokescreen to escape. Damn it, search this damn tunnel system. Find her and kill her. That won't be needed, Demon. What? But Kaos, she's… I know. But she is not worth sending our men to chase her down. She'll just cut them up. Besides, we don't even know how this cave system works. What we need is to study the corpses of the Devites I killed and learn what we can. Devites? Yes. Till Kali reveals herself, all troops are to stay on high alert. We don't know if these three are the only Devites remaining or how many they actually may be. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.